What does it mean to be a man? It's not what our feminized society tells you, and it's not endless hours at the gym. Those who live by the masculine code follow an ancient set of principles: honor, sacrifice, and power. Signs of this blueprint are everywhere throughout history and even today. The code is for men only, not women. There is a stark departure in the meaning of being a woman and the true role of a man. To be a man is to do essential things that other men admire and women are irresistibly drawn to. These are forgotten principles that will give you advantages. The real need for masculinity never went away. You have to see past the false notions that society keeps repeating. What follows is the truth about how to be a man today and going forward. Honor is the first principle. To be a man, you must maintain honor. It's the foundation of masculine behavior. Strength, courage, leadership, and loyalty all tie back to the same source, a man's code of honor. As Norman Mailer said, masculinity is not something given to you, but something you gain, and you gain it by winning small battles with honor. A man builds or destroys himself through the choices he makes in those daily battles.
And I'm here to kill you, little Bill.
You can see this understanding across cultures. Samurai in feudal Japan would rather die by their own sword than live without honor. In 18th century Europe, gentlemen settled insults with pistols or blades at dawn. Even in tribal societies, boys faced brutal rites of passage to earn the right to stand as equals among warriors. Across time, the demand for honor has been universal and non-negotiable. Men understand this instinctively. From a young age, you know that disrespect is never just words. Disrespect is a challenge. It says, you will either fight or you will submit. Other men rarely test this boundary casually. It's understood. I've rarely been treated with deliberate contempt by other men. They know that violating a man's dignity invites confrontation, physical or otherwise. It's a step toward battle. But women do not carry this same understanding. Many, especially post-feminization, are conditioned to challenge the patriarchy, yet they often do so without comprehending unspoken rules. I've had women test status boundaries in ways no guy ever would. They do not grasp that what to them may be empowerment crosses a line into a crass put-down. They lack insight into what masculinity is really about. They were brought up without basic respect for the opposite sex. Honor is not part of the core female being. Women respond to conflict differently. If slapped, insulted, or publicly challenged, a woman may cry and seek help. Historically, women submitted to strong protectors who showed dominance. Female identity has never depended on defending personal honor at all costs. Their instinct should be to align with strength. By contrast, a man's personal code defines him. It's why men throughout history have willingly faced duels, exile, even death, rather than endure the shame of public humiliation. To be stripped of honor is worse than to lose life itself. A man without honor becomes nothing. The code of honor applies in everyday life. There's no need to be the fragile bully who starts a fight when accidentally bumped. It is healthy to not always take yourself seriously, but you need to act when you are being diminished. Anyone who puts up with ongoing disrespect, whether from strangers, colleagues, or even a partner, will lose standing. Leadership among men depends on respect. You do not have to agree with another man or like him, but you should recognize his ability to contribute. A man who publicly belittles or undermines others weakens himself. In male groups, respect is the currency that allows order to exist without constant confrontation.
Nice ride.
A fully grown man must always carry within himself a readiness to be courageous When someone or something threatens to take his honor away, this is not optional. It is a primal requirement we understand deeply, even if rarely spoken of. When that test comes, you either stand up to be counted or you shrink away and are forever diminished. There is no neutral ground. In some cases, standing may even mean risking or sacrificing your own life. That has always been the price men have willingly accepted to preserve their standing. I believe honor explains why so many men suicide after being stripped of everything after divorce. Without access to their own children and having money taken by force, they have been fully devalued and degraded. A deep impulse to reject slave treatment drives them to abandon this world. Sacrifice is another essential component of being a man. Every male must know this in order to understand his role in society and to attain his maximum potential. Because we are wired for this, giving of oneself is not a purely selfless act. It is partly how we make ourselves whole and lead a satisfying existence. In evolutionary and historical terms, men have always been surplus to requirements when it comes to reproduction. Every female is biologically critical for the continuation of a group, whereas only a few males are needed to father the next generation. Men became nature's expendable force. They were sent to war, given the most dangerous tasks, and expected to face death for the survival or advancement of their people. This is not injustice, it is simply the design. Boys may feel loved and protected, but as they grow older, they recognize a harsh reality. Almost all loyalty and affection toward them is conditional. A man must sacrifice for others by protecting, building, or providing, or lose the respect of both society and himself. What defines male sacrifice is that it is often chosen. Young males are drawn toward danger. They compete, explore, fight, and willingly take risks that others avoid. This pursuit of legacy and purpose, often at great personal cost, runs through all history. From the first hunters who faced wild beasts, to warriors and explorers, to the soldier and firefighter of today, males instinctively seek out the trial that will define them. This truth still stands, yet modern society has complicated it. The traditional spaces where men found their purpose, defending, providing, leading, have been eroded. The state has replaced much of the protector role. Women compete openly in workplaces and institutions that once defined male status. Culture itself has blurred, even mocked, the idea of masculine duty. Men today must actively search for meaningful responsibility. It is one of the greatest challenges of our time. To be a man is to understand that life will demand sacrifice. It will test you. The only choices are to face it or fall into irrelevance. Men who accept this truth stand firm, build pride, and live with contentment. The third and final principle of manhood is power. Men are driven by an ancient instinct to prove themselves through what they can do, not simply who they are. In tribal societies, every man had to find a powerful role. Hunting, defending, crafting, leading. Each skill was important. A man who brought nothing special was the most expendable member of the group and potentially seen as a burden. That reality never truly disappeared. Even today, a man's sense of identity is built around what he contributes and what he masters. As anthropologist David Gilmour observed, to be considered a man, you must not only provide and protect, but also demonstrate an ability to succeed in a domain valued by your group. A man knows instinctively that to remain an apprentice forever is to feel inadequate. He must become the master of something to take pride in himself and know he has earned his place. When asked what they bring to the table, some women say, "I am the table." This works for them in a way it never can for men. Historically, women held inherent value simply through their role as potential mothers and caregivers. A woman could feel sufficient without the need to excel or stand out in other ways. For men, that has never been the case. A man must earn his worth through what he contributes. He becomes restless and frustrated if he feels trapped in the shadows, unappreciated and unable to offer something meaningful. Money plays a part, but it is not everything. There is virtue and nobility in a man contributing through honest work, even if the pay is modest. The one who builds, fixes, brings safety or takes on difficult tasks most cannot do still earns respect. We are not here to consume, but to create and contribute. As Jordan Peterson wrote, to stand out, to matter, to bring value, a man must voluntarily shoulder responsibility and become exceptionally competent at something. Producing value gives you pride and a sense of fulfillment.